Hello dreamers, it's me Delirium Dreamer and we're here at week 4 for our final workshop video for our Kaijune series, Weight and Composition. We're doing it podcast style again because somehow I got a double ear infection, so that has caused some issues. And also apologies if it is very loud in this room that I'm recording in. We have a bunch of AC units on at the moment. Washington decided to experience summer this year, and heat and Washingtonians, we've got mixed reviews on that. Anyway, I've left a lot of this video pretty uncut. I brought over 5 specific pieces for Rich to look at and review, a mixture of digital art that I had printed out and traditional. In each piece, we discuss the nature of positioning vanishing points, horizon lines, in combination with the design and style of the piece. The format will be, you can hear the actual conversation Rich and I have, and then I recap what was gone over at the end, or you can see the piece and skip to the recap. It's up to you. I think Rich has some golden things to say that I'll do my best not to miss in the recap, but I'm human, so I'll probably miss things. It's also just cool to see constructive criticism in action and how people can work together to build a better piece or a better next piece. My preferred learning style is let me do the thing first and then let's review. I might need to be more adaptable in my life along the way, but that's currently where I reside and how I feel I learn best. So that's what we do. Anyway, alright, let's begin. Cool. Alright, so in this piece...
Is that a round desk?
No.
Okay.
Exactly. And, like, that's the thing is, like, in doing all of this, like, perspective work with the way we've been doing it, I'm able to see things that I didn't see before.
So, in this, you're close to that back wall, so you have wildly skewed perspective, like on the desk. You can see the side of that desk, of this side of the desk, but you can't see it here, and so that makes it look like the desk is bent.
When you see I'm, like, trying to see a side of the desk right there, but it's not enough.
Right. And then the looks like it's just in the room, which I assume it is.
Yeah.
And you have hard lines up here that you don't carry down, so it's hard to tell what shape it is, because that makes it look amorphous in perspective. So you have this round TV shape that looks flat, but then you have this back plane that comes off of it that doesn't match the curve of the TV. And that's just a spatial thing and kind of determining where it is in the room. But the general perspective is really close to the wall, so it's hard to, like, put things in their place. But this desk is definitely the biggest culprit here. And that's an easy fix. You just take it head on. You're so close to that back wall, we don't need to see the sides of the desk.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, and what I was trying to do is I wanted to show her looking at the TV, and I wanted us to be able to see what was on the TV. And that was the perspective that I was going for. So would that be a 2-point perspective? Would that be a 3-point? Would that be a,
is the TV in the corner of the room at an angle, or is it on the back wall?
Just in the middle of the room? But that wouldn't make sense story-wise. It would have to be in the corner for us to be looking at her, looking at the TV.
Right.
Right? Like, with that...
Or you have to rotate the camera so that we see a 3/4 view.
Yeah.
In which case you would have drawn the perspective differently.
Yeah.
And that would have shown not this side of the desk, but this side of the desk.
Yeah. And that's probably why I was, like, drawing side the desk, because I'm trying to get a certain angle. Like, I've seen it in movies, I've seen it in pictures.
Because your vanishing point would have been, you would have had vanishing points out here. It would have been 2-point perspective.
It would have been a 2-point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you would have picked a horizon line, which would have been basically that where the wall meets the floor.
Okay.
Would be your horizon line, and you would have had vanishing points out here. Let's see. This one would actually be closer. The right hand side would have been closer. Sorry, left hand side would have been closer. And so it would have been a sharper angle.
Okay.
And that way you would have seen the front. So it would have been like...
Okay.
Kind of
So
like, actually kind of like that shape.
Even your vanishing points have to be strategically placed.
Yes. For best results, you're going to skew your vanishing points. So it would have been kind of this angle. So you could see the front of the TV, the side of the TV, the front of the desk, the interior of the desks, the side of the desk. And that's how it would have gone across the room.
Oh, okay.
And then she would have been out here.
Okay. Okay. And that was supposed to be a beanbag chair, but we'll cross making beanbag chairs at another plane.
Yeah, and putting those in perspective is a whole other thing.
All right, cool. More obvious 2-point perspective, the Hobbit home.
And putting this in perspective is really not a thing. It's a lighting thing more than anything else. Okay. It's about shading and about creating depth with your illustration. And so you can tell the tree is behind the building, the fence is in front of everything, this path comes out. Tapering this path as it goes back so that it's like
even more narrower than what.
Yeah, because this is needs to be a little narrower to emphasize the depth of the image. But that's really, there's nothing wrong with this.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, well, the rocks kind of obscure some of the path, so in some way maybe it's like I think that was like my vision of it, was that you're not able to see the full, I don't know, but then I would want to have pushed the building back farther.
Well, and that's the building is a whimsical fantasy building.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you can't say, well, the door is disproportionate for the building. It's a whimsical fantasy building.
It's a Hobbit home.
Right. And so, like, that would be kind of the things I would look at, would be how to arrange the proportions on the building to emphasize certain things. Like, so, I would make the door smaller. But that's just a personal choice.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with this image. Like, your proportions are fine. Everything works out real well.
Okay. There's just a lot more style choices and stuff like that.
It's style stuff.
All right. Let's see. My Wizard of Oz. Now with this one, I was very proud. I even did the whole straight line grid effect thing to like try to map it out. So there's a little bit of strategic planning that went into it to get this result. And I was like, okay, it's decent. But I knew that there was plenty of things off about it.
So are they walking shoulder to shoulder, or are they walking single file?
They are supposed to be kind of like walking shoulder to shoulder, but like, I didn't mind the idea of it at an angle, because it's a pretty wide road that I made. So there's some room for them to expand. But technically it is supposed to be shoulder to shoulder. So
with that, what ended up happening was you followed your vanishing point that's over here that you used for the brick. You followed that for their shoulder lines where you lined them up, and you needed it to go that way.
Oh.
So all their shoulders should have lined up across the road, not with the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that changes things. So I had them going to the wrong vanishing point.
Yeah.
Okay. How How do you determine what vanishing point things should go to?
So it's based on really what you want the object oriented, how you want the object oriented. So in this case, the object are the 4 characters, and if you want them across something, you orient them.
So yeah, obviously the line would have to go this direction,
right?
And so I would need it to go to that vanishing point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you have them go that way, they become single file. It's just something that you kind of learn over time how you want things to go together.
Yeah, because I have the shadows acting as if they are shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
On some level, right? Like.
And then I can see with your brick, you were fanning out. Mm-hmm. And it should have been going the other direction. Like with these lines, all should have been narrowing as they went back. And then spreading out as they went that way.
Okay. Huh. Okay. All right.
And then same thing with the lines coming this way. They go spread out this way. And they narrow as they go that way.
Yeah, because they need to start vanishing.
Yeah. It wouldn't be as dramatic with this one.
Yeah, because you're up closer.
Yeah, and it's a shorter distance you're seeing them.
Another thing to keep in mind is, like, just because you're heading towards the vanishing point, if you're not hitting the vanishing point, then that's important to know. So, like, if your vanishing point isn't something that you need to, like, you're going to need to come up against, put your vanishing point off to the side, off the page, so you can really pull your line farther and enhance.
Your vanishing point does not need to be on your sheet of paper.
Okay.
It can be way off your sheet of paper. And I would encourage you, as you practice this, to pull it off your sheet of paper and tape your piece of paper down onto another piece of paper or a clipboard that you don't mind marking on, so that you can put you can mark your vanishing point way out there and measure to it.
Okay.
And that'll make things a lot easier for you.
Okay. Cool. All right. Gotham. One of my favorite pieces. Love her. Was very proud of this back piece.
Oh, the checkerboard.
Of the checkerboard. I felt like I did a pretty good job of some stuff.
And the checkerboard, the only thing that is, would be in 1 point perspective because it's all head on. Mm-hmm. So you have a vanishing point somewhere
back here
in there. So these lines should have gone that way.
Got it.
And then you would have had lines, the straight lines going this way. You would have had flat lines going this way, and then lines tapering back that way.
Okay.
And so you would have had more dramatic diamonding effect.
Got it. Okay.
But otherwise, there's not a lot of stuff to put in perspective in this image. You wouldn't see the top of the umbrella because it would be tilted back because you can see the inside of it.
Yeah. No, I feel like sometimes I end up doing things just because I want to draw the top of something.
Sure.
I want to design the top of an umbrella, so I'm going to at the top of the umbrella. But no, that makes sense, and I think that's why I was like, well, I need to see the bottom, but I want to see the top.
Yeah. So all these lines that are curving this way should curve that way.
Yeah. Which, when I'm doing the Alfonso Dunn workbook, that is my biggest struggle is
matching the
curve. The flowing line ones, oh, my brain just, I don't notice it right away until I'm looking back and I'm like, that was supposed to go the other way. Alright, Coon and Suds.
So there's really not much to pick out in this. It depends on where your vanishing point is. If your vanishing point is in the center, that 1 foot needs to move in.
Yep.
And that's
I think that was the case, because I did have more of a center thing, because I wanted him to be the primary focus, and I wanted him in the bathtub.
But this looks attached to the wall. It, maybe
some lighting.
The bracket that's holding that on the wall needs to be tilted up a little bit, but and this line needs to come up, because like where's your vanishing point?
Yeah.
Or not your vanishing point, your horizon line. So if your horizon line is here at the tub, this needs to be tilted down.
Fair. Okay.
And then, but if your horizon line is up here, it's in the right perspective. So and we can see the top of we can see into the tub. So your horizon line is higher.
Yeah.
So it's in perspective with itself. You just have a really high horizon line.
Yeah. So in the most recent in the most recent lesson, with a higher horizon line, that typically is more for when you're planning to draw below the horizon line more, it's because you're wanting to do more top-down stuff. You're wanting to see inside of things. You're wanting to be more small. Right?
It does make things look smaller, but it also can emphasize a disproportionate height. So if you draw something very large and then a bunch of small things next to it that from above, it can emphasize how small those other things are.
Okay. But in this situation, since I did have a higher horizon line and I do see inside of the tub, but it's not necessarily about demonstrating a smallness, should I have made the horizon line lower to keep it more of a sort of mid level? Okay. Makes sense. And there we have it, folks. Composition and weight. I will end with a little art lesson I got when I was a preteen. One of my favorite art teachers ever gave it to me. Looking back, I think she was teaching me composition and weight without me knowing that's what I was learning, which is very clever and very helpful. She told me that when I'm drawing, what I'm gonna want to do along the way is make sure my eyes are able to travel throughout the entire image. So she had me practice looking at images. So I start basically wherever I want. She said, in a good piece of art, you should be able to start anywhere and still see the entire image. Anyways, you let your eyes just kind of jump to the next thing it wants to look at. And if you keep doing that, you should be able to have this sort of journey through the image. And if in that process there were points that you felt kind of stalled you out and kept you from enjoying the journey, those are going to be the areas and the spots you'll want to figure out why. So it could be it feels imbalanced, too many things on one side of the page versus the other, or it could be the shading's off, maybe the light isn't hitting it the same way other places are on your picture. It's those are the things that come up on those certain areas. I do this a lot in my pieces, and it's a huge part of my art process. Can I experience this piece and come out the other side going through it all pretty smoothly? You can also use this information to help you create an intentionally uncomfortable piece. Sometimes you learn some fundamentals so you can cleverly break them. But that is a very quick trick in looking for areas within any art piece to help you improve it even more. But in general, just know your art piece like your favorite book or movie. Now, don't you dare stop creating. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.